Whoever named this tennis string in Gamma headquarters should most definitely be fired, because there's two Gamma Ocho tennis strings out there. There is the polyester, which is what this tennis string review is about, and then there is also the multi-filament. But as of late, I believe the polyester is called the Gamma AMP Ocho, and the multi-filament is called the Gamma Ocho XP. I just wanted to clarify that before any of you guys kind of attack me for this not being the multi-filament review and this only being about the polyester. Did you know that in some languages like Spanish and Tagalog, ocho actually means 8? That's why it's called the Gamma Ocho, because there's 8 sides. Pretty cool fact. 10,000 IQ right there. When it comes to 8-sided tennis strings, I am as suspect as Alexander Zverev's second serve, because the last tennis string I reviewed that had 8 sides was a Babolat RPM Blast. Link in this corner if you guys want to take a look at that. And although the Babolat RPM Blast is claimed to have 8 sides, it was most definitely round feeling when I was stringing it, and it definitely hit on the tennis court as if it was a round copolyester instead of a sided. However, unlike the Babolat RPM Blast, I definitely felt the 8 sides when both stringing this tennis string review and also on the tennis court. If you find this video to be informative, please hit that like button and consider hitting subscribe to be notified on very regular original tennis content such as this tennis string review. So let's break down the Gamma AMP Ocho. Let's do this. Researching the price on this tennis string was a little bit tricky because I found reels that were $250 and some reels that were as low as $182. So if you guys end up buying this tennis string in reel format, make sure you guys are getting the best possible price before you hit proceed to checkout on that online retailer's cart. Thankfully, every single packet that I saw for this tennis string was $13 per packet. And this 8-sided copoly is probably one of the cheaper strings that I've been reviewing on this tennis string review channel. Coming from the baseline, this tennis string gave a surprising amount of power for being a sided copoly. Now, typically speaking, a shaped copolyester really doesn't give too much ample power, but the ball pocketing, even on slight mishits for the Gamma AMP Ocho, was surprisingly good. For the spin, this actually is the second most spin potential I've ever gotten from a tennis string, second only to the Solenko Tour Bite. However, the underspin was just garbage, absolute garbage. As someone that relies on his backhand slice a lot from the baseline, I felt like Gamma has completely abandoned the idea of having a decent string when it comes to underspin. Even if I prepared and got low with my legs for a backhand slice, this barely made it over the net, even though I was aiming it to have land near my opponent's baseline. As for the feel, it's basically non-existent. It didn't give me elbow problems from the baseline, but it definitely was not a type of string that I felt confident or inspired to do something finesse-like, kind of like a drop shot from the baseline. However, the comfort wasn't bad. It didn't give me arm problems, as I previously said, but it wasn't super comfortable or super plush either, but that should be expected because it is a sided copolyester. For serves and overheads, one word: ouch. Although the spin potential for this tennis string was really good from serves and or overheads, this gave me more elbow pain on my first serves more than KFC and Jägermeister the night before. It's not to say that this tennis string didn't give good pop or power on a serve. I actually didn't feel like I lost miles per hour on a flat first serve, but it was just incredibly uncomfortable. So if you guys have had previous elbow problems, I really would suggest you don't even try the string just because of the serving aspect that this provided. For the volleys and touch shots, don't volley with this string. So if you guys actually find yourself at the net, just give up the point, because there's no reason why you should even try to win that point if you're inside of the service box. The volleys were extremely jarring, but not painful. But even on the cleanest volleys I was hitting with this tennis string, it was landing about 2 feet shorter than expected. And similar to the baseline finesse shots, the short angles, reaction volleys, or even the drop volleys were not inspiring confidence in me whatsoever. So I would suggest that if you guys are net oriented, such as doubles players or serve and volleyers, again, look elsewhere from this tennis string. Originally strung at 55 pounds, and at about 3 to 3.5 hours of straight hitting with this playtest, the tension maintenance was still slightly above 55 pounds. That might be a little bit weird, because if you strung something at 55 pounds, it should be at 55 pounds or lower. But because of how stiff this tennis string actually is, along with the Babolat RPM Rough that I did review on this channel, I am expecting rougher and stiffer polys to be slightly above the original tension that I gave it after about 3 to 4 hours of straight hit. Overall, this tennis string is extremely similar to the Solinco Tour Bite. However, I would argue that although it doesn't give as much spin as the Solinco Tour Bite, it's significantly more playable, because I was only getting elbow and arm problems on the flat first serves. If you are a Chad of a tennis player where you only drink Jägermeister and you only eat processed meats, and you have toxically fast racket head speed in order to generate amounts of topspin that are unbelievable, I would say give this string a playtest. It might be right up your alley. But for us mere mortals, where we rely more on defensive finesse shots, along with a little bit of volleying here and there, I would say look elsewhere. This isn't really worth your time. And as always, happy hitting.